What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Blue Games. I'm back. We are back. Turn music down a little bit. Yes, sir. We are en route right now. We are on the way to San Francisco in the Boeing 747-400. Let me get everything. Let me get everything organized for you guys right now. Where is it? Where's the button I'm looking for? There it is. I'll take that off the screen. Hope you guys are doing well. Just woke up not long ago. We started this flight about 5 hours ago, I believe, and we took off out of South Korea. So again, if some of you guys were not able to be here for that first stream, we took off out of Seoul, Korea. Yeah, I believe it's right in South Korea. We took off from Seoul, Korea. This is basically the exact same. Sorry about that engine. You almost forgot about how bad that sounds. We're doing basically the United farewell flight. I believe they did this flight a couple of nights ago. It's not the very last 747 flight, but it's the last international United 747 flight, and it was from Seoul to San Francisco. It's about a 10-hour flight, depending on winds. It could be shorter, it could be longer. But I decided to copy that flight plan because I am definitely a fan of United. United is one of my favorite airlines, and I watched a video that said farewell United, and I was a little bummed that I wasn't able to make it on that flight. I was kind of like, oh man, I wish I would have knew about this. Maybe I could have actually went out there to Seoul, Korea, and actually experience that flight. That's really cool. But it is what it is. So we're gonna recreate that flight virtually, and that's what we're doing right now. Took off with about 3 of us. No, actually, we took off with about 5 aircraft. Now we're down to 3. Actually 4. Wow, I thought we had less than that. And ahead of us, we have Nate Dogg in a 787, so he's way ahead of us. He's faster. He's in a 787. 787 is basically one of the aircraft that's going to be replacing the 747 anyways. And then we have, right in front of me, we have Hadi. Yeah, he's also in a 747. He's actually coming down to 35,000 feet right now. And then behind us in the back, we have Sean NG, who about 5 hours ago said he only had 3 hours of fuel, so I'm hoping that he's able to make it. Now, speaking of fuel, real quick, let's look at our flight plan. We took off over here at Romeo Kilo Sierra, India. We're all on training server, so you guys know. I know I said I was gonna be doing expert server all this week, but I took off in the middle of the night, and I kind of was like, it's a long flight. I'm gonna be like by myself like the entire flight. So Chia Wei Leon, thank you for that subscription, my friend. Thank you, appreciate that. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Global family. But so I was like, it's gonna sometimes these long flights can be lonely, I guess you could say. And so I was like, let me go ahead. There was ATC. There just happened to be ATC at RKSI, so I took off out of there in training server, and expecting to have some ATC in San Francisco when we get there. Not sure who it is right now, but it'll probably be changing. Okay, we got Unsalted Peanuts is there right now as approach, and we have Captain Mauricio. So we'll see if they're still there when we get there. I'm kind of debating right now. Like I said, we're en route. There's really nothing to see out the window. It's all dark. The sun has not risen yet. We would probably not see the sun until we're pretty close to San Francisco. Probably not until we're really close to San Francisco. Around the time for us to start descending, when we start seeing the sun. Noah Seaton, I thought you were already subscribed, but thank you, man, for that subscription. I was a little late on seeing that, by the way. But yeah, so one thing I'm concerned about is fuel. I am concerned about fuel right now. I'm highly concerned about fuel. And actually, let's turn this down a little bit. I'm highly concerned about fuel. So we took off. This was planned. I was planning on an 8.5 to 9 hour flight from Seoul to San Francisco. That's what SimBrief told me, and that's what SkyVector told me. That's how long the flight was supposed to be. I also checked FlightAware. If you check on FlightAware right now, you will see that there's an identical flight to what we're doing. It's flown by... Who's it flown by? Flown by Korean Airlines, and they're basically in the exact same position as we are. We are just south of Alaska, and so are they. So they're estimated to land at 9:11 a.m. in San Francisco. That's local time. So for me, that's about 11 a.m., which is a lot longer than I would expect. I would not expect to be home at 11. We're supposed to land like around 8:30-ish or something like that. Their time, which would be, for me, that would be 9, 10, like the latest 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock for us to land. That's my local time. So I'm concerned because I put 11 hours. I put just over 11 hours of fuel on board before we left Korea. And ever since we took off, my ETE to destination has been in the red, which means that we don't have enough fuel. That's what that's supposed to mean, is that we don't have enough fuel. And so I'm extremely concerned. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe the winds will help us. Well, we've had very strong wind. Right now we have a 69 knot tailwind. Before we had over Japan, I believe we had like 140 knot tailwind, which is crazy. Coming out of to the east of Japan by KALNA out here, we had still about 100 knots or so of a tailwind, but it didn't seem to help us too much. As you can see, our ET destination says 3 hours, which actually should put us in, let's see, where's my Zulu time? That would put us in San Francisco at 1700 Zulu in 3 hours. Our ETE to next is also red, which is going to be in 2 hours. And 2 hours and 28 minutes. And it says that we only have 2 hours and 8 minutes of fuel, 12% of fuel remaining. I think we have a fuel leak, guys. I think we have a fuel leak. That's what I think. Because there's no way. This flight is supposed to take us 8 to 9 hours. I put 11 hours of fuel. We've had a tailwind the entire way, and yet it's still telling me that we may not have enough fuel. And so I've been so concerned about not having fuel. When I went to sleep last night, I dreamed that we crashed in the Pacific Ocean. That's how serious this is right now. I had a dream. I literally woke up last night because I had a dream that we ran out of fuel on this flight. Can you believe that? Alright, taking a look at the comments now. Now we have options. We are the closest to land as we've been since we left Japan. So we could divert, reroute to Anchorage, Alaska up here, which we could definitely make it to with the amount of fuel we have. We could also, I don't know that Seattle would be much closer because of the winds. We could divert to Seattle. Like basically the whole way there, we have a tailwind, which is great. But it doesn't seem to be helping us right now. I mean, our ground speed is only 529 knots, which is good. What's going on, Thomas D? I mean, there's a lot of places we could reroute to. Our official actual what is it called? Alternate airport is where is it at? I think it's KSMF, which is just as far as San Francisco. When I loaded fuel, I loaded enough, obviously, for the flight. Hold on. I loaded enough for the flight, and I loaded enough to make it to our alternate. Plus an hour and 15 minutes, plus another hour just in case. I'm supposed to have 2 extra hours of fuel. Now I know that whenever we get to our descent, we'll be using less fuel. The issue is our AT to next, which is not even our top of descent. Our top of descent is not gonna be until probably AMAKR right here, or maybe between these two. But if we don't have fuel to even make it to that next waypoint, then what's the whole? I mean, it doesn't matter. So I mean, we could descend like extra early or something. I don't know. So it's like right now, just kind of in the middle. I'm trying to decide what to do. Now the aircraft around me, I don't know what their fuel situations are. I don't know if they're on the string with us right now. Haki says he has enough fuel, and he's in the 747 with me. He's in the same aircraft with me. I don't know how much fuel he started out with. What happens when fuel run out? You glide, basically. But the thing is, we're flying over the Pacific, and like right now, we have to decide: are we gonna divert back to Alaska? Are we gonna go to Vancouver? Are we gonna go to Seattle? Or are we gonna go to San Francisco? You can't, okay, Julio, you must not have Infinite Flight Pro, because they actually made a change where you can't go to weight and balance anymore. You have to be parked with on the tarmac with your brakes on to add fuel. So you can't add fuel. Like, you can't just pause and be like, oh, I didn't put enough fuel, let me go ahead and do that and pause. No, you can't do that. At least you can't do it on multiplayer. So our options right now are to commit and continue off to San Francisco, which does not look good for us right now, or we could fly to Anchorage, which I would rather fly to Anchorage rather than any of these other small airports, because we don't know if they're big enough for our aircraft. We're in a 747. Remember that. We could also fly. I wouldn't want to fly anywhere in this area over here on the southern Alaska over here. I wouldn't fly over here to Canada. I would rather not go to Vancouver. I just feel like going to Seattle will be just as far as San Francisco. And it sucks because I really wanted to do this flight straight from Seoul. Ishan Santania, thank you for that subscription. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Global family. I know I saw that extremely late. That popped up on the screen a while ago. But I want to say thank you for that subscription. I didn't see it when it first popped up, so I apologize for that. So right now we just have to decide what we're going to do. This is tough. This is tough because I don't want to go to Alaska, but I don't think I have a choice. I mean, what we could do is we could go to Alaska, refuel, and then continue our flight to San Francisco. Either way, we would have to refuel and continue to Alaska. I think going to Seattle would be just as much of a... Because look, we have 2 hours of fuel. It says. Based on the current configuration of 2 hours. We're 20 minutes short now to our next waypoint, and we're an hour short to our destination. So yeah, we need to divert. All right, so let's go ahead and decide where we're gonna go. It sucks. I don't want to divert, but I have to. Okay. I think we can make it to Seattle. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna set it into heading mode. So turn off nav mode, set it in the heading mode, so the aircraft will keep flying straight. And then when I'm changing the flight plan, it will not, like the plane won't change direction based on wherever I'm sending the flight plan. So, all right, so let's go to map, and let's do this. Let's do it. So let's first try Seattle. So I'm gonna delete San Francisco. Delete AMAKR, and I will delete VESPA. Is it gonna let me delete VESPA? Okay, there we go. And then we'll basically just draw a line straight to Seattle for now. And we'll see how long that's gonna give us. So if we fly direct there, we're still 1,000 miles? No, that's between those two. How far are we from that? Alright, wow, we just went under 2 hours. Alright, so my fuel is not updating. What's up with that? So we're gonna put distance to destination. 1,290 miles still to San Francisco. What was it again? You guys remember? So it's only a 300-mile difference from Seattle, flying to Seattle or flying to San Francisco. Hold on, I'm just doing some calculations before we make the change. See the differences. What is it? Distance to destination. All right, so if we switch to Vancouver, which is, I mean, it's right above Seattle, so that's not going to do anything. Delete SFO. That is the same as Seattle, basically, and it still has us in the red. It's still saying it's going to take us 2 hours 18 minutes to get there. That's not including us trying to fly to the runway, whatever we need to do to get to the runway. So we may have to do a emergency, a priority landing for that. So let's try Anchorage. There we go. All right, so to there, we are 835 nautical miles from that, which says it's gonna take us an hour and 34 minutes, which still puts us in the red. But this is the only. This actually puts us over. Like, we're okay, sort of. So we're going to Anchorage, guys. We're definitely going to Anchorage because that's not gonna work out. Yeah, I mean, we're in the red still, so we're gonna just barely have enough fuel to get there. And I know we're gonna use less fuel when we descend, but still, I think the safest thing to do right now is to fly to Anchorage. We know that airport is big enough. We have all of our passport and documentation on board to go there if we need to. So, because that is part of the U.S. also. So, I mean, we're already flying to the U.S., so flying into another U.S. city will be easier for customs. So, we're gonna go ahead and make that turn. It has been decided. We are diverting to Anchorage, Alaska. So hit nav mode again. That's going to turn the aircraft towards that waypoint. The rest of you guys, if you can make it to San Francisco, go ahead. But I am not going to make it to San Francisco. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we have a fuel leak, guys. We have a fuel leak, so we're gonna have to divert to Anchorage, Alaska. I'll go ahead and get those charts up whenever I get the chance. Let's see, what is this gonna do as far as wind? Is this gonna put the wind? I think this is actually gonna give us a headwind, which could even give us even more issues. This could give us a headwind. Ooh. Look at that now. Look at how much look at that. We changed directions. So yeah, now we're gonna be flying into the wind. So this whole time we've had a tailwind. Yeah, so we changed directions, and now it's saying that our ETE is longer than it was a second ago, and now we're not gonna have enough fuel to make it to Anchorage. Look at that, it's continuing to go up. Let me switch to here so it doesn't go away. So at the bottom, it's continuing to go up. It said a second ago, like, less than 2 hours to get to Anchorage, Alaska, but now it's telling us it's gonna take just more than 2 hours. We have an hour and 50 minutes. Okay, you're confusing me, fuel. Come on, you gotta make up your mind. How much fuel do we have remaining? Because right now it's going up. I'm making life-changing decisions right now. This is gonna affect all of us. And now that we've turned the aircraft, I feel like we've committed. Like if I was to change my mind and fly and be like, okay, well, let's go with the tailwind, let's go with the jet stream, and we'll follow and go back and continue to San Francisco or Seattle. We already wasted the gas to make this turn, and we don't have enough gas to waste time. So we're gonna have to fly to Anchorage, and we're gonna have to fly the shortest path there to get to the runway. And we may be able to contact ATC, let them know that we have low fuel. We're probably only gonna have one shot at a landing, so there's gonna be no go around. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but I am nervous. I am. All right, well. Okay, another issue I'm having is for whatever reason, it's turning us like away. So one thing that navigation mode does, it doesn't always fly you directly to the path. I mean, directly to the waypoint. It flies you kind of like, I don't know, like offset, so that it can kind of turn you into the waypoint in the direction the waypoint goes. So what we will do is probably going to use heading mode the rest of the way, and we'll fly the heading. Yeah, 353 is a direct heading to Anchorage, and we were flying something else, so that will probably help us get there a tiny bit faster. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I know we have 2 hours still to even get there, but we need to think about how we're gonna get in there. Like what does the weather look like in Anchorage right now? Is there weather? No weather, of course. All right, well, I'm gonna have to use Sky Vector. So hold on for a second, guys, so we can, because Sky Vector is gonna have weather. Sky Vector will have weather. But I think we should be fine, because once we start descending, we won't have too much of an issue with fuel anymore, because we won't be using as much fuel as we're descending. And I may actually shut off an engine or two while we descend, just in case. We do have 4 engines, so let's see, I'm looking for display. Well, this flight did not go as expected, but hey, that's what happens. I think that we made the right decision, though. I think we did, because I think this would have ended horribly for all of us if we had continued to San Francisco. We'll still probably go to San Francisco, maybe. Not today, because, I mean, it's just 2 hours until we even get to Anchorage. That's an entire stream right there. So we may have to continue on later. I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull up the chart right now, but it's not working for some reason. I'm pretty sure we'll probably be taking runway 07 left or 07 right. Whenever I have flown to Anchorage, we flew there not long ago when we were flying the Cessna Citation, if you guys remember, a while back when we flew from Juneau. I don't remember what runway we landed on, but usually when I fly to Anchorage, we land on the 7s, because that's the way the wind is usually coming from. So we'll see what it is. I'm trying to get the weather from Sky Vector, and I'm trying to get it on the screen. It's just not allowing me to do it. So basically, like, just kind of like just thinking about everything that's going on right now, I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, what could I have done differently to make it all the way to San Francisco? Well, we planned for a 9-hour flight. I put 11 hours of fuel. That's 2 extra hours. Now remember when we flew to Dubai about a month ago for my 1K special, I put way too much fuel. I put basically double the amount of fuel. We had about a 6-hour flight, and I put 12 hours of fuel in it because I was paranoid that something like this would happen. And so since then, I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll put less fuel. Maybe I don't need as much fuel. We did a fuel dump in that flight. So today I'm like, okay, instead of doing like double it, I'll just put 2 hours. Usually for my normal flights, I do about a hour and 15 minutes of extra fuel on board. And so today I decided to do a full 2 hours of extra fuel. That's including the reserves and including fuel to alternate. That's on top of all of that. And yet we still were a whole hour short of fuel with a tailwind. So I don't know. I'm extremely confused on what that calculation was. So my excuse is that was a fuel leak, because we should have had way more than enough fuel to make it for that entire route. But it also could have something to do with how heavy we are. We do have 300 passengers on board, so that would actually burn more fuel. We did take off pretty quickly, so that I might have burned too much fuel maybe on takeoff. I'm not sure. Like I said, we did a stream late last night. For me, it was about 1 a.m. in the morning when we took off. Alright, so I got the weather for Anchorage, which I'm not going to be able to pull on the screen for some reason. For some weird reason. It doesn't want to come up. But what the weather says is, it says, weather is 130 at 3 knots, 10 statute miles, clear. And that's about it. That's really all we need to see. So it's clear, 3 knots, so 130 is where it is. So yeah, we'll land at 07. Technically, yeah, I know that 15 would be the way to go, but we're going to take 07 because I know that's where they usually land on. So we'll go ahead and take 07 right. That's a closer one. It'll also allow us to take a sort of a straight shot in, not a straight shot. If we are too close on fuel, we can fly straight into runway 33, because that's the way that we're already flying. And you know, in emergency situations, we'll go ahead and prepare for 33 if we need it. But I'm going to go ahead and attempt to fly to 07 right. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in where exactly we want to approach that. I want to kind of give us some space to get in, but also don't want to give us too much space because I don't want to use too much fuel. So let's try, let's see, what's the farthest waypoint we can reach? There's one way out here. Okay, there's a bunch of waypoints. Okay, cool. Alright, so we could probably go in from out here somewhere. I'll go ahead and click this waypoint. We'll turn the map back on. Hope you guys are enjoying this. This is different. This was not what I had planned, but I do want to show you guys. Hopefully we survive this, but I want to show you guys how, you know, things don't always go as planned on your flights. You know, sometimes you can't just go to sleep, wake up, and you're there. Which I did. I did go to sleep, and I woke up and I was like, you know what? This is probably not going to work. So we're trying to try something different. Let's see. So yeah, don't be like, because I could easily be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna be stubborn. I want to be in San Francisco. I want to do this flight route. You know, I'm doing it for my stream. This is an iconic flight. I'm not gonna divert from it no matter what happens. But hey, I mean, I don't think I had a choice. So you gotta, again, I think that's part of being a pilot. I'm not a real pilot still. You guys know that. But as we're doing these flight simulators, which is basically just our, you know, it's a pre-training for us to become pilots. We have to practice making very important decisions like this. So I have to treat it as if I have real people on board, and I can't just be like, okay, we're gonna try to make it to San Francisco. We might crash in the water, but we're gonna try to make it to San Francisco. So I'm gonna do my best to get there safely on every flight we can. So right now I'm just creating like a little approach path for us that I'm pretty confident we can fly on. I think we're gonna be good on fuel to Anchorage for sure. I'll probably have to do another flight, load up to go to San Francisco. I'm not sure. We'll find out later on, because I have a schedule for this week of flights to do. This flight was not on the schedule. I changed it. Originally today we were supposed to be flying from Atlanta to JFK, but I changed it because I wanted to do this flight. Another flight that I could do and might do, not sure yet if we're gonna do it, but today I believe United is doing their actual last 747 flight. This is the last international flight, but they're doing their actual last 747 flight, which is flying from San Francisco to Honolulu, which it would have been really cool to be able to land in San Francisco and then continue on back to Honolulu. But it didn't work out that way. And what I might do is I might fly to San Francisco, like maybe not on the stream, like just to continue on to San Francisco, just to get there. I'm not sure how long that flight is, probably like 2-3 hours, and then I'll probably continue to Honolulu. I don't think I'm going to be doing another overnighter tonight because I do have some stuff I need to do, so it's not really like I'm going to be able to leave my phone on again. I might be able to. We'll see. You never know. Like I said, but last night's stream was very unexpected for most people. I wasn't expecting to do it. It's kind of like a last minute decision. It's like, hey, I want to do this flight. I heard United is having a special flight. Let's go ahead and try to do that flight. All right, so we got our whole arrival fixed up. Now we just need to decide where we need to be, how high, all that good stuff, at where. But we still have ETE to next it's still about an hour 20 minutes. It's telling us about an hour 20 minutes, and we have about an hour and 44 minutes of fuel on board. If we need to, if for whatever reason we do not make it to Anchorage, we need to make a closer alternate that we could possibly glide to. Now I've had to do this once ever. I was flying from my home city, Houston, and I'm sorry guys, I'm not looking at the chat at the moment. I'm trying to look at charts and winds and all that crazy stuff. Right now we have a direct, oh great, look at this, we have a direct headwind of 100 knots. That's what's slowing us down. It actually gets stronger as we get closer to, I need to get this fixed because I need to be able to show you this on the screen, but it actually gets stronger as we get closer to Anchorage. Like, it's the same wind that was pushing us, we're now flying against it, which is pretty funny. So, but yeah, so we need to find an alternate. I don't know. These are all uncontrolled airports, and look how small that runway is. I mean, we don't need that much runway, I don't think, but if we're on an emergency situation, we may need to land faster than we usually would, just in order to keep the aircraft from crashing into the mountains. So I'm looking for another, all this other stuff is farther. Probably PADQ. This will be a good airport. It has lots of runways. Runways, there we are. I don't know how long the runways we need. Let's see, we're gonna just compare Anchorage runway length to this other one. All right, so 07 right is 12,000 feet. Yeah, 12,000 feet. 07 left is 10,000 feet, and runway 15 is 10,000 feet also, which is way more than enough room we need. We're not going to use even half of that possibly. This airport has 7,000 feet, 08, which is there, and then 5,000 is the rest of them, or 5,000 or less. So we would want to land on runway 08 or 26 if we were to land at this airport. It has 7,000 feet of runway, and I believe that's on the island, if I remember correctly. So that'll be, we'll go ahead and set that as our alternate. It's a little bit closer. It's also the only airport that's really close enough. If we look at this uncontrolled airport, their runways are 6,000 feet, which we possibly could actually make it fit. We could probably make a 747 fit there. I think it could land there. I just don't want to push it. You guys may know better than me how much runway you need. I was kind of checking everybody's runways around here to see, just in case. I want to be prepared. If worst case scenario, I think we'll be fine getting to Anchorage, but it's just the winds is what's concerning me now. Because we have such a strong headwind. 100 knots is not, I was not expecting 100 knots. I was expecting a headwind, but not 100 knots. So that's what's concerning me, is a 100 knot headwind is going to take a whole lot more fuel to burn through that. 8,000 over there. Is that closer? That is closer. That's like the opposite direction. So we'll plan on our destination right now. Our diverting destination will be Anchorage, PANC up here in Alaska. If that is not possible, we'll either go to PADQ, which has the runways are way long enough for us. There's another one out here. So where was the other one that I saw? Was it this one? I can't even remember who I clicked on anymore. What was this one? No. That's gravel. No, not landing on gravel. Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, when you're gliding, you don't have as much control over how slow you go. So yeah, we'll go for PADQ if we need to, which is right in between there. So like if we find ourselves less than enough fuel than we need after we get to PADQ, we could always turn around and head back to PADQ. And then worst case scenario, we'll land here at PAHO. It has 6,000 foot runway, which is about half of what we have at Anchorage, which I think was 12,000. Yeah, about half. So I'm thinking that I'll be comfortable with a 7,000 foot runway. Anyways, right now fuel is showing hour 38 minutes, 9%. Gosh. ETE to next is hour 16. ETE to destination is 147. So we'll see. This is what we're going with today. Let me go back and look at you guys' comments because I haven't been looking in a while. Starley, you make a good point. Starley says that the strong headwind will burn less fuel, but will be you'll be slower, which means it will take us longer. Headwind makes it easier to glide through. Well, yeah, that's a good point. As far as gliding, a headwind is good, but flying maybe not. So maybe we should descend, and we could possibly get some less wind. Right now we're at 3.5. I was at 3.70. Before I left last night, and the winds we only had like a 60 knot tailwind at 3.70. I came down just a bit, hoping maybe I could save some fuel down here. Doesn't seem to change anything. But as far as the passengers go, you guys don't have to worry about anything. This is just stuff they don't worry about in the cockpit. So passengers don't know anything. All they know is that we're diverting to Anchorage. Actually, you do have to worry about getting to your destination in time. That's about it. Let's see. How do you spell diverting? I think it's DI. Yeah, that's how you spell diverting. I'm changing the name, the title. All right, there it is. Well, hope you guys are doing well today. I'm having I slept alright. I didn't sleep great. I slept alright though. These planes are not always the most comfortable. I will go ahead and descend down to 310. Let's see what the wind looks like at 310. We have 102 knots here. Actually, what direction are we flying? Are we flying back? We may need to change our altitudes to even numbers. Let me take a look at that. No, we're still heading to the east, so we'll still be flying odd. So we're gonna just slowly descend down to 310. I'm not sure if the sun will be up. It'll probably still be dark when we land in Anchorage, I assume, because the sun doesn't rise that high in Alaska sometimes. Not depending on what time of year it is, because the sun rises in San Francisco before it rises in Anchorage. Julio, I do not use a joystick. I don't own a joystick. It'd be nice to have a joystick, but I do not have one, so I don't use them. I just use the phone as is, just like everybody else. Thank you, Starly. If you could check out windy.com for me, so let me know what the best cruising altitude is going to be in that direction. Kuroa, you didn't have enough fuel. When was that? And yes, I am a future pilot. That is one of my dreams. One of my goals is to become a pilot in the future. So I am. This is kind of part of my training, I guess you could say. It's kind of like a light training. It's kind of like casual training, but still working on saving up enough money to make it to flight school and be able to pay for it and all that stuff. So. And try me later. Yeah, you can always fly with us once you get your subscription, man. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll still be flying end of the year. I'll still be flying next year, as long as I have a phone that works. Night walk. Right now we're in the middle of the ocean, so there's no. I could go and put in nearest airport, and it would show us nothing, because we are near no airport. If I was to have a failure or anything right now, we would be screwed, because there's nowhere for us to glide to. So that's why we have plenty of life rafts and all kind of stuff like that on board. You know, whenever you're flying over the ocean or over large bodies of water, you're required to have, you know, all your emergency water equipment. So we have those on board. So right now we're out of range to glide anywhere. We can't even, from this point here, we would not be able to glide to Alaska. That's the same thing I was worried about as far as San Francisco, because San Francisco was basically the next piece of land we were going to see heading east, and we were going to run out of fuel before we got there. We would not have been able to glide far enough to make it to San Francisco. What's going on, GL? Welcome back, my friend. Yes, this is all real weather. We're doing this in real time. Real weather, real time, real everything. Except it's a simulator, so that's the only part that's not real. Yeah, Sean, how much fuel do you have, Sean NG? Because a while back, I think that was you who said you had like 3 hours of fuel or something like that, and that was like 5 hours ago. I don't know how that was possible, but yeah. So this sort of thing has happened to me once ever. So let me go ahead and tell you the story. It's kind of funny. This was probably one of my first. I'm not gonna say long flight. It was supposed to only be a 3 hour flight. No, 4 hour flight. I think from Houston This is in the U.S. This is from my home airport, Houston, to Boston, or was it JFK? It was Boston. And so I was flying, and then I think I went and I did like some other stuff. Like I sat the phone down. Like I basically, I didn't go to sleep, but I just wasn't on my phone for most of that time. And I came back, and we were. Let me show you on the map. Actually, then it'd be better. All right, so I took off. KIH right here, Kilo India Alpha Hotel, and my destination was up here at Boston, which is just south of Canada. Right here, and I think that flight was supposed to take me about 3.5 to 4 hours. Well, around that 4 hour time period, I was not around my phone. Well, I don't remember what I was doing, but I didn't come back until we were like up here somewhere. I was I think I was up here by CYYT. I was like over the ocean, about to be really far from land for a very long time. And I was not gonna have enough fuel to make it back. So originally I was like, okay, well, I can just turn around and I can probably make it back to Boston. Well, when I got maybe halfway back to Boston, I realized that, yeah, I'm not gonna have enough fuel to make it. I need to divert like now. Like I had so little fuel. I had like less than an hour, maybe less than 30 minutes of fuel. So I had to pick one of these Canadian airports to land at. And I can't remember where I landed at. What was the name of that airport that I landed at? It wasn't that one. It's one of these. Let me find out. Nope, not Greenwood. Was it this one? Nope. Where was I? Maybe was I farther? I wasn't that far. I mean, I wasn't that close to Boston. I was definitely in Canada, and it was a controlled airport for sure. It's a smaller airport, but it was still a controlled airport. I really can't remember the name of it though. Halifax, that's what it was. Landed in Halifax. So I was way out here somewhere because I just wasn't paying attention, and I was low on fuel and I had to divert all the way back here to Halifax, which, where is it again? Yeah, over here. I had a successful landing. I landed with like 2 minutes of fuel or something like that. It was crazy. I got there right in time. I remember I landed like on runway 05. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like worried when I was on approach, because whenever you're on approach, like your fuel keeps going up and down because you're using more and more throttle input to keep your aircraft in the air while the flaps are down. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we're gonna make it. So we landed, and I pulled off the runway with like maybe 1 to 2 minutes of fuel, and I had just enough fuel to taxi to the gate, and that was it. Shut it off. It was crazy. So that's the only time I've had to divert so far in my global adventures and infinite flight. Other than that, we've done a very good job of having enough fuel to make it to all of our destinations until now. So we are an hour from this from here. From, what is this? This is some kind of fix right here. So we'll see. I think we'll be fine. Our current flight time is, what does this say? 7 hours and 15 minutes. We've been airborne. I thought, you know what? I thought about shutting down the engine, but now the issue with that is that if you shut off 1 or 2 engines, then the other engines have to work harder, therefore burning more fuel, right? So, and right now the engines are, evenly distributing the weight of the aircraft to keep us at this speed, at this altitude. But if I were to turn off, one of the engines, yeah, I would save fuel in that engine, but I would still burn more fuel in the other engine, therefore losing more fuel in the engines that I left on. And so basically we would still take us the exact amount of fuel to get there. So it really wouldn't help us at all. Now it would help us maybe to shut it off during descent. That could help. If I shut it off during descent, that could help. But shutting it off right now while we're cruising is not gonna help. Thank you for confirming that, Starly. Thank you, Patrick Cowley, for that sub. Big shout out to you. Thank you, man. I don't know why this is not working. Let's do it again. I'm trying to get my screen capture thing for my computer working because for some reason it stopped working. Weird. What is this? Let's use this. I guess it's not gonna work today. I'll just turn it off. Oh, we don't need it. Don't need it. Well, how are you guys doing? So I know some of you guys are flying, some of you guys just got out of school, some of you guys just got out of work. The wind will be weaker at flight level 240. Like how much weaker? Like, is it worth me going down there? We have about an hour and a half till we get to Anchorage. Thank you, ProFS, for that sub. I just saw it. A little late. Are you sure you sub? Because usually it's supposed to pop up on the screen when you do. Let me make sure that's working. I didn't see your name pop up on the screen. Yeah, because up on the top left of the screen, it shows the newest subscribers, and it shows the newest sponsors, newest people who donate, all that stuff is what's supposed to be there. Yes, sir, it is Taco Tuesday. Oh, you guys are funny. Aaron Dream, we're on training server today. Yeah, ProFS, unsubscribe it and redo it. Let's make sure it works. I just tried to update it to make sure it's working. So do it again and we'll see if it actually shows up this time. Man, tacos do sound good. I actually haven't eaten since I got up. I need to eat. Flight attendants are, I think they're supposed to be serving us breakfast. We got Malaysian 27 right behind us. He passed us actually when we were flying towards San Francisco. So he's flying a little bit faster than we are. We're cruising at 0.86 Mach. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna speed up. I'm not sure if anybody else turned with us when we turned. It looks, who is this? That was Delta. He was already flying in that direction. GL, where are you flying to now? Are you still flying to Mexico? Pocket Flyer, we were headed to San Francisco, but now we're diverting because of a fuel leak, possible fuel leak. I believe it may be in the engine number 4. Not completely sure, but I think it's an engine 4. It's a little bumpy now. I'm gonna turn that seatbelt sign back on. Let's see. As far as distance, we have 391 miles. I'm gonna take a look at the map. I want to see when we should think about descending and stuff. We have 300 miles till we get to this first waypoint from our current position. Then we're gonna have another 70 miles after that to Center, and then 80 miles to Dutka, and then from Dutka we'll have 28 miles to Vellum. This is why I need to pull up charts. So that we can find out what approach we need to do into Anchorage. Also, I think I should be able to get that on the screen for you guys. That'll be easy. What's funny, if you guys look up on FlightAware flights, what is it? Because this is the flight I was actually copying. I copied this specific flight because it was leaving at the time I was flying. So it still has 2 hours and 11 minutes en route. It's Korean Airlines flight 23. Yeah, 23. So obviously they're gonna make it because that's a real flight, and they probably calculated better than I did. But they'll be landing in 2 hours and 11 minutes. But let me go ahead and gather up all the charts that I need for our approach for runway 07 right. It's easy for me to get these charts because Alaska is considered the United States, so it's very easy for me to get charts inside of the United States. A lot easier than it is for anywhere else. I mean, I guess they're all kind of the same. All I do is just Google to get it, but I just like it better how I can get the US charts. Alright, so we don't need the San Francisco charts anymore. Now, we were planning on flying the BEGAR BEGAR 2 arrival in San Francisco, but don't need that anymore. There it is, Anchorage. Alright, so here we go. This is the ILS for 7 right, which is what we're expecting to land at. We need to be at, what is this? Thule, which is up here. Now, let's see, we have, oh, so they want us to do a procedure turn. That's for category E aircraft. That's what that is right here. This is called a procedure turn, where it kind of goes, it goes away from, like directly away from the runway, and then it turns like to the left, and then you like basically do like a 180, and you come back and you land. But at Thule, we need to be at 1,600. Also at the end of the procedure turn, we need to be at 1,600, which we're not going to do a procedure turn because I'm pretty sure we don't have enough fuel to do a procedure turn. So we're just going to fly straight in. At or above 1,600 feet. And then at I don't know how to say any of these dang waypoints. 1,000 here. And then we should be good. So I would like to have like some type of actual arrival to look at to know where these guys usually need to be at what altitude. I just don't know which arrival goes into 7 right. It's not like the UK charts, how they base all their arrivals based on the runway. In the US, they do that, but they don't like categorize them like that. Like you could land a lot of different runways on the same arrival. You just fly a different route in the arrival. All right, well that's gonna be our approach. And then this is the airport diagram. We'll be landing on 07 right. And then the terminal will be on the left, so we'll have to cross, probably exit Delta and take Delta to Kilo, and then soft terminal will be fine. And over here is FBO. So if we don't have any gas to taxi, then obviously we could get a tow, and it doesn't really matter where we park. But that's where we're going to be planning on parking, is South Terminal. We don't have a gate. They'll probably assign us a gate later on, since we weren't scheduled to to land there, so they didn't have a gate for us originally. So we got to find our own gate. But I think we'll be just fine. I'm not worried about that. But now having that information, we can decide where we want to be, how high we want to be, at what point. So we'll zoom in right here. Thule is right here. And we need to be at 1,600 at Thule, and then at Wivida, we need to be at 1,000, which means we'll probably want to be, and we'll probably just go ahead and stay at 1,600 when we get to this glide slope area, which will probably put us around 2,000 feet to 3,000 feet at STMMP. And then at Velum, let's just say we're 2,500 here, and at Velum, which is I'm just going through this out loud so you guys can kind of see what my mindset is. It's only 28 miles between these two, so we'll probably do, what did I say, 3,000, like 4,000. So that gives us, actually no, we have 4 minutes that it'll take us to get there. That's actually farther than I thought. So we'll do 5 or 6,000 at Velum. And then this next one, which is a lot bigger of a stretch, where is it? Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. 87 miles right here between Detka and Velum. So we'll probably go down to, we could probably be as high as like 18,000 feet or something, maybe even 10. I'm not sure. I have to calculate exactly how far we need to be. And then that'll put us, so we don't even need to descend until we get like maybe Saner or Detka. What we could do is start descending early. That'll save us some gas on the way down too. To start like descending very slowly. I think that would save us some gas. But yeah, we're too far still to even worry about descending, because we don't have to descend until at the earliest here, the next waypoint. But that would be extremely early to descend. That's still like 200 miles away from a destination. So one thing that that'll happen too is right here on the right side of our HUD, once we get to actual low fuel, it's gonna say low fuel. Right now we have 7% fuel. That's crazy. I mean, I know this aircraft can fit a lot of fuel in it, but it's crazy to be as low as 7% and still an hour away from our destination. Fanboy DK, what's going on, man? Really, you descend 200 miles away from your destination? We'll be descending within 200, but it won't be at 200 miles. Hello from Vietnam. What's going on, man? How do I get those charts? I get them from the internet. So I just Google it. It's very easy to find. Just Google the airport ICAO, and then boom, that's all you need to do. Yeah, it's weird, Pro FS. It still didn't show your name whenever you resubscribe, so I don't know what's going on with my button thing. So if anybody has subscribed lately, I don't know why it's not showing the new subscribers. My program is being a little weird right now, so it could be that. Yeah, that thing is not working either. Alright, yeah, what's up, Lebrat? So you have a question? What's your question, man? Yeah, we're definitely going to need priority landing and Anchorage, so... because we don't have a lot of fuel. Will I save 15% on my car insurance by switching to Geico? Possibly. It's not. I don't think it's guaranteed. They say you can save 50%, up to 15% on your car insurance by switching to Geico. It's a good question. Very good question. Very, very good questions. Speaking of questions, I mean, we have a while till we get there. If you guys want to go ahead and leave some questions in the chat right now, I am welcome to. I'm happy to answer them. We have a while to our destination. We're not doing anything but riding along. Where does escort come from? Malaysian 8 and the F-22 came out and found us. How'd you get out here? Where are we? Is he? Where'd he go? Is he above us? Oh, wait, there's he. There he is. How long did it take you to fly from wherever you took off from to catch us? Because we are out here. I see a few more aircraft coming out too. Deflo and this guy, Jacob Pavir, and a C-17. Welcome back, Destination Gaming. Yes, sir. We are back for another stream as usual. This stream is a little different, but still the same. We took off last night at around 1 a.m. my time, which is I think 600 Zulu. And then we're doing a long haul. It's about a 9-hour flight, but we have to divert because we're not gonna have enough fuel to make it to our destination. So we're diverting to the nearest major airport, which happened to be Anchorage. So we're gonna head over to Anchorage right now. We're still about an hour, 13, hour and a half away from there. But we only have an hour of fuel, so that's our, our worry to even get there. But I think we made the right decision. I'm pretty confident that we can get there on this tank of gas. we're shooting for Anchorage. There's about 5-6 airports before we get there. I talked about this about a few minutes ago about our other options are going to be PADQ right here, and also PAHO if we need to. We're going to go for PADQ before we go for PAHO, because PADQ has a longer runway. But right now, our fuel remaining is matching our ETE to destination. But then again, you have to remember, guys, ETE to destination is based on your current speed, altitude, and the winds. So if I was to fly at this speed all the way to Anchorage, we would make it there in an hour and 11 minutes, 12 minutes, depending on how much the winds change. Right now, we have 98 knots of wind, which has gone down because we had 120 knots headwind at one point. So it's been going down, but we have to remember we do have to descend, which is one. It's going to add some time to our ETE to It's going to add some time to our ETE destination because we'll be slowing down as we descend, which I probably won't slow down as much as I usually do today. But as far as fuel remaining and how long we have left of fuel, it'll be a little bit more than what you see there, because we'll be using less fuel as we descend once we reach our top of descent, which our top of descent is going to be in close to an hour also, because our next waypoint is in 30 minutes, 40 minutes actually, and then after that we have 10 more minutes until about, I think, our top of descent. I'm probably going to do Sander, probably descend to Sander, but still haven't decided yet for sure. Noah already chose an airport, man. What's up? It's Dre. It's been a long time, man. Good to see you, bro. We should do a poll right now. Can I make a poll? Let me see if I can make a poll. If you think I'm gonna make it, and if you think I'm not gonna make it. Let me see. I think I can do that. Can I make one? Yeah, I can actually. Cool. I'm gonna create a poll. All right. So the poll is gonna be: will blue? Oh no. I'm gonna put: does blue have enough fuel to make it to Anchorage? It's gonna be yes or no. Hold on. To land at PANC. All right, that is the poll. Choice 1 is going to be yes. Choice 2 is going to be no. I don't think there's any other choices. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'll create that. All right, so now if you you should be able to see. I think if you refresh your stream, I'm not sure how you find it. I think if you click on the top right of your, I don't know if this works the same on a phone. Yeah, I think it does. There should be like a little circle with like a little eye in it at the very top right of your screen. And then you click on that and it'll have like a drop down that shows you related videos, and also at the bottom of that it'll show you the poll. So go ahead, guys, and put in your poll, or put in your opinion. What do you think? You think I'm gonna make it to Anchorage, or you think I'm not gonna make it to Anchorage? I will not be offended either way. It's just real. Dang, it's Dre, you broke your screen, so you stopped playing Infinite Flight. That really sucks. Nate Wiseman, we're somewhere over the Alaskan Gulf, I think is what it's called. Some of the things that people say when they jump in the stream is so funny. I don't know if I can see the poll live. Can I actually see the poll results live? Is that possible? Let me see if I can. I don't know if I have to, if I can see them live or I have to wait. I might have to open up a new tab and look at it. Let me see. Can you guys see the poll results after you submit? The poll should be at the top right of your screen. Do I think I'm gonna make it? I think I'm gonna make it. Press the little info. It should, like, when you, if you're using a computer, you could hover over the stream and then there's like a little thing at the top. I don't know how to find it on a phone, so if anybody's doing it on the phone, they could explain how to find the poll on the phone. I'm probably gonna leave the poll up, even whenever I publish the replay of the video, because I want people who are watching this back to be like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. Okay, on the phone it's the same. Cool. So if you're on the phone, it's in the same position. It should be at the top right of the video. You should be able to click the little eye circle icon and then it'll open up the rest of it. But right now I am trying to find out where the results of the poll is on my end, where I can see it. I'm not sure where I can see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so far, we only have about 5 people who've done the poll so far. But at the moment, this is funny. I'll keep you guys updated. But 60% are saying yes, I'll make it. Okay, so and 40% are saying no, I'll make it. So it's pretty close. We only have half and half. But at the moment, thankfully, I see that more of you guys believe in me than the people who don't believe in me. Saying yes, I'll make it. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the poll results as we move forward. But this is gonna be pretty fun. Thankfully, I see that this is gonna be very fun. More of you guys believe in me than the people who don't believe in me. Oh crap! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry that you hear me twice. I hit the wrong button. Alright guys, if I sometimes get like a little quiet, that's because I'm reading emails. So I do have work that I need to cater to. Hearing me twice was cool. To me it sounded weird, hearing myself twice. Aviator Illin, what was your question? What's going on, Sid Hart 905? Welcome, man. Good to see you. Welcome everybody watching on Twitch. Also, we are live on Twitch and YouTube. So if you guys have not subscribed to the Twitch channel, definitely go over there. Sometimes depending on what I'm streaming, sometimes I'll only stream to Twitch. Sometimes I'll only stream to YouTube. For the most part, for Infinite Flight, I've always only streamed to YouTube. But I'm trying to open up live streaming on Twitch for people who may want to see it on there. I know that most of the Infinite Flight audience, or most people who watch Infinite Flight videos or Infinite Flight live streams, usually watch it on YouTube. But there's basically no one watching on Twitch. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? You never know. Maybe some people want to watch on Twitch. So if you're watching on Twitch, welcome. Thank you. I need to fix this graphic right here, by the way, because it actually gets rid of my YouTube URL. I think I deleted it on accident on Photoshop, so I need to go back. I haven't been in Photoshop today, so when I get back into Photoshop later on to make my thumbnail, I'll go ahead and make that fix too, because I did not mean to get rid of it right there. And Malaysian 27, I do see your LANAT lights. I'm not sure why you wanted me to look at them, but they look normal to me. Thank you, Starly, for believing in me. Nate Wiseman, the reason we're going to Anchorage is because we have a fuel leak and we are diverting to Anchorage, Alaska. We were not going to have enough fuel to make it to San Francisco. Our original destination was San Francisco, but we were about an hour short on calculated fuel, apparently. Even though I thought I had 2 hours more fuel than I needed, somehow we were going to be 2 hours short. We weren't even going to make it to our top of descent. So if we were going to make it to our top of descent, I may have tried to continue on to San Francisco, but we were not looking like we were going to make it to our top of descent. So I decided to divert to an airport that is about an hour closer. So we're still going to be very close on fuel. We've already kind of briefed and talked about where we'll go if we need to go somewhere sooner. So worst case scenario, there's a few other airports that we could possibly make it to. So flying to Anchorage will give us more options. Flying to San Francisco, we will have one option. That's to go to San Francisco and only San Francisco, because flying to the west coast of the US, there's nothing else out there. Flying to Anchorage, there's a lot of airports throughout Alaska that we can make it to before we get to Anchorage. So I'm pretty confident we can make it. But again, guys, if you are just joining us, definitely jump into that poll. The poll is on YouTube. Jump into the poll on the top right of the screen, little circle icon, and vote and let me know, what do you think? You think I'm gonna make it, or you think I'm not gonna make it? And be honest. Don't be, don't say I'm gonna make it because I'm watching. I want to know your honest opinion on if you think we're gonna make it there, or if you think we're not gonna make it there. Andrew says he voted no, and he's very positive with his answer. All right. Now, remember, me not making it does not mean me crashing. Me not making it means, okay, if we can't make it to Anchorage, I'm going to divert to another backup airport. So something else that's closer. Those dots are just part of the graphic. That's not infinite flight. I can get rid of it very easily. That's just my special overlay with my stuff on it. And now they're gone. Nightwalk, he joined us in the C-17. Is too heavy to keep up. Where are you? I think, is that you over there, grade 3? Yep, Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3, and he is going 430. You're going faster than I am. So you should be fine to keep up, but you're going faster than I am. Malaysian 27 is right next to us. Like that's some legit, like that right there. That's some legit formation flying right there. I can dig it. Let me see if I can turn off the name so I get a dope screenshot right here. All right, don't descend. All right, I went lower so you didn't hit my wing. I'm only going down with 300 feet, so. Yeah, it's true. If you had never heard of infinite flight and you were like, for example, watching this stream or watching any infinite flight video, you would think that this is a PC game. Because it's that high quality. I mean, look how good this looks. I mean, it's nighttime right now. Oh, is that land? Is that land on the horizon? That's land right there, guys. I'm excited. That is land. We're not going to drown. We're not going to drown. Let's see, I got to get a dope screenshot. Let's see, here it is. That's a good shot. Let's see, we haven't done a scenic view in a while. Let's see what that looks like with him right there. Try me later. Am I gonna make it? I don't know. You tell me. Have you voted yet? Okay, right now, seeing a view is not really helping. All I see is myself. I want to see him with me. Now our actual fuel remaining says 5%. 5% fuel, 17,000 pounds of fuel. Let's take a look at how much fuel we've burned. Fuel used, 191,000 pounds. Aviator Alien says he ran out of fuel. I don't think I've actually never, like, okay, I take that back. There's been one time that I ran out of fuel and I didn't make it. I was flying, it was a short flight too. I was flying a CRJ, the CRJ 200. I was flying from, where was I flying from? Houston to Indianapolis, which was not, it's like a 3-hour, 4-hour flight or something like that. And I maxed out, like I basically put as much fuel as I could fit in a CRJ. The reason I flew the CRJ is because it was a real life flight and my friend was on that flight. And so I was like, hey, I'm gonna fly with you, send me your flight plan. I'm gonna fly in the same aircraft you're flying in. And so that's exactly what I did. But for whatever reason, the infinite flight version of this aircraft can't fit, I guess, as much fuel as a real life version. And so I was not able to make it. And I crashed on final because I ran out of fuel and I had the flaps down, everything was down. I was on final, I was like maybe 5 miles away from landing on the runway and I ran out of fuel. You know, when you run out of fuel, you lose thrust and the plane just basically dropped because I was on final, so I was pretty close to a stall. You know, I was on a controlled stall because I was on final, and once I lost thrust, I lost altitude. So there was really nothing else that I could do. I was pretty upset too. So I was like, what the heck? Why can't I make this flight? In real life, this exact same aircraft is doing this flight on a daily basis, and yet I can't make it one time. Geo Aviation, you're so funny. Abdul, what's going on, man? Yeah, I told my friend, I was like, bro, I think I killed you. Like when he landed, he texted me and let me know he landed at the airport, and I was supposed to land around the same time, so I knew he was landing because not only was I flying the same flight, but I was also tracking his flight with FlightAware, and so our aircraft were like basically at the exact same position the entire time. And when I was on final, I was like, well, I crashed. I'm pretty sure he made it, but I crashed. And I texted him like, bro, I'm sorry, I killed you. Yes, sir. This was supposed to be the last United 747 flight. They turned it into us deviating to Anchorage. Fooey Lillian, what's up, man? Welcome. Good to see you. And I'm sorry, anybody who's subscribed in this stream, for whatever reason, it's not showing the new subscribers popping up on the streams today. I don't know why. Mr. Sloth, what's up, man? And I'm really sad about that, man. Gonna be praying for you and your family about your brother. Hope you guys are doing all right. Abdul, I've had a lot of people asking me to do a later stream because I know a lot of you, this time is not good for you. And the reason I do this time is because it's good for me, which is what I'm going to continue to do, is do time that's good for me to fly, that I can actually do a stream and create good videos for you. But I have thought about changing the time of my streams, and I have actually made a decision. So my plan is to, once a week, I will do a later stream. For now, we'll see how it goes. If the later stream gets really popular, then I may do like twice a week. I'll do a later stream. But as of right now, I don't know which day it's going to be yet either. I'm trying to find out which day works best for my own schedule. But I'm planning on trying to do at least once a week, do a later stream. So right now I always stream at, I'm going to be streaming at 1400 Zulu daily. Or daily on the weekdays. And then this later stream will also be on a weekday. It will not be on the weekend. My weekends are still not going to open up, so like that's not going to happen right now. I'm going to probably work on trying to like post actual videos during the weekends, but I won't be doing live streams, not scheduled live streams. Sometimes, as you saw last weekend, I did like 2 unscheduled live streams over the weekend. I wasn't using mic, and the reason I don't use mic a lot of times on those weekend live streams is because, one, it's at a time where everybody in my house is asleep and I'm awake, and I don't want to be like this right now talking all loud in my apartment, because I have a very small apartment. I won't be talking all loud and then everybody's like, go to sleep, shut up, you know what I mean? So that's why when I do streams when I'm not talking, that's the reason that I'm not talking. It's because it's late in my local time and everybody is asleep, or I'm just not able to talk at the moment. So and usually those are for unscheduled streams, like when I just want to fly, I want to stream, but I can't talk. So I'm still talking in the chat and stuff. I'm just not talking like I am right now over the video. But that being said, I am planning on doing a later stream. I'm not sure what time that stream will be. I don't know what the Zulu time is or my local time is right now, but it'll be sometime after I get off of work. And it'll probably also be at some time when my wife is at the gym, which will probably be shorter. Like the evening streams will probably be shorter too. Daniel KM will be landing in, I think, the next hour or so. We have used 193,000 pounds of fuel. Let's see, fuel remaining is 4%. My gosh, 48 minutes of fuel is what it says. And man, look at those. That is not what you want to see. You don't want to see red and orange numbers on the bottom. Our ETE to next is 20 minutes. Look at the map real quick so you update you guys and update myself on what's going on. So, whew, I don't know, man. It's gonna be close. I mean, like I said, I'm still gonna stand on my word and say I'm confident we're gonna make it. I'm confident we're gonna make it. The last thing you want to hear from the pilot is like, we're not gonna make it. We got 2 more people coming to escort us. We're gonna definitely need that escort. We're gonna need priority flying in the Anchorage. Too far to contact ATC right now, but you will see there's going to be a new option for us when we contact ATC about emergency fuel. The 747 as an aircraft is actually a very old aircraft. Now there's newer, like newer built aircraft, but the 747 as a model of an aircraft is a very old aircraft. And the 777 and the 787 were created to basically fly the same distances but more fuel efficient. Now the 777 was created first, obviously, and 787 was created to be even more fuel efficient than the 777. And so as far as all of the Boeing aircraft, 787 is supposed to be most fuel efficient for its distance that it's able to fly. Now I think when it comes to other things like these shorter regional flights, like in the US from like LA to to Houston, you still see the Boeing 737 a lot. You see the 737 MAX because those are more fuel efficient for those shorter flights, and they're also, because it's a smaller aircraft with less seats, it makes more sense, whoa, how do we get so close to all these people? But it makes more sense to fly those aircraft on those shorter flights. You lose a lot more money if you fly 787 for a short flight. I am not a teenager, Leonardo. All right, let's take a look at the poll. I don't know if anybody else has said anything in the poll. Let's see if I can. Do I have to refresh this page? Let's see. Wait, I don't know how, but somehow everybody's like, I got 100%. It now says 100% says yes. Did you guys change your answers? Because before it said 60-40. Now it's 100% I'm gonna make it. I'm not even 100% sure I'm gonna make it. So how can you guys be 100% sure I'm gonna make it? But thank you guys for believing in me and believing that we're gonna make it. Bill Gates, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. Noah, I am old enough. That's all you need to know. But yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this on the stream. It may be too dark, but if you see those little white, like white things out there, those are not clouds. Those are the peaks of the Anchorage mountains. Which I'll be surprised if there is any mountains out here, because last time we flew to Anchorage it was actually flat. Like Infinite Flight didn't actually show mountain tops. It just kind of showed the flat land. So I'm expecting that same thing when we get in there, unless they changed it, unless they fixed it. But this is a different part of Alaska, so that could be different. But I don't know what that is exactly that I'm looking at, but that is definitely land. Yeah, right now we're flying over the Gulf of Alaska. Still about an hour from our destination, and yeah, we're running very low on fuel, but hoping to descend and make that a little bit better. We're pretty even. Before we were like an hour short, and then we were half hour short. Now we're basically even. As you can see, we have 45 minutes of fuel remaining and 43 minutes to our destination is what it says. That's very true. Thank you, Sidhart905. You should never give up. You know what I always say, 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it all you got. Today, we are definitely expressing the action of giving it all we got. We're gonna use all the fuel we got, and I'm not gonna give up. Yes, sir, I live in Houston. How can you vote Infinite Flyer? Just go to the very top right of your video. You should see a little eye with a circle on it, and you can vote whether you think I'm gonna make it or not. Geo Aviation, something I've been wanting to tell you is whenever you give whenever, because you do like a lot of flights, and I would definitely not mind joining in like on your world tour and your flights and stuff like that. The problem is our time zones are so different, and so whenever you're busy, I'm not busy, or whenever I'm busy, you're not busy, and also the time, like I never know, like you say, and you're asking me to fly with you at 5:20. I don't know when that is, so I would recommend you, especially when you're speaking to other pilots in the flight sim community, and this goes for everyone. If you're trying to plan flights, I would never like say, okay, let's go fly at 8 o'clock EST. Like, who's EST? Is that US EST? You know, who's whose time zone is that, and what does that mean to me? So I always recommend people to use Zulu time. Now I know that most people don't like understand the Zulu time yet. I honestly don't understand it myself. When I plan stuff, I'm like, okay, well, this is the time I'm gonna do it my time, and then I go to Google, I convert it to Zulu, and then I tell people, hey, we're gonna be flying at 1400 Zulu every day for live stream. And that's how I got 1400 Zulu, because that's actually 8 o'clock a.m. my personal time. So I basically just converted that time to Zulu, and that way I can tell other people, hey, we're flying at 1400 Zulu. All you gotta do is take 1400 Zulu, convert that back to whatever your local time is, and then you know exactly what time I'm flying. You get what I'm saying? So I recommend that whenever you are, you know, wanting to fly with other people, whether it's me or somebody else, always give them, hey, let's try to do a flight at this time Zulu. And even for me, for people in the US, now, because a lot of you guys who are watching are not from the US, because in the US right now, most people are at work or busy with something. But most people in the US, they don't know what the heck GMT is. I don't even know what GMT is. Like, if you told me, oh, I'm gonna be flying, if we're gonna be flying at +5 GMT, I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know. And so that's why, again, I use Zulu, because it's very, like, it's the same everywhere. Everywhere it's the same Zulu time for everybody. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter if the time's changing or nothing. It's always the same Zulu time everywhere. If you say GMT, it's different GMT everywhere. So one place is +5, one place is +2. Oh, nice. We got a new subscriber, Wang Kind Tan. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Blue Arrow family. I'm a little late on that. I didn't see that. I'm like watching the stream back, so whenever it finally pops up is when I finally see it. So thank you for that subscription. So like Pocket Flyer, he just said, I'm doing a stream at 5 o'clock Eastern US. To me, I know exactly what time that is. For me, that's 4 o'clock because I know the time conversion. But if somebody's in the UK, no one knows when 5 o'clock Eastern US is. So use Zulu times. And also, just so you know, no promoting Pocket Flyer. I live in the US. All the way US. Always has been the US. The song playing right now, I don't know the name of it, but I do love this song so much. I need to turn it up. If it's not over already. I use NCS songs though. No copyright sounds for the music in the background. Well, for people who are plus 0 GMT already, it's very easy to convert. For people who are not already 0 GMT, it's very hard to convert. So for me, I'm not 0 GMT. My personal time is not personal GMT. So I have no idea what time GMT is to my current time zone. So it's just, time zones are very confusing. And for the flight simulation community and people who fly all over the world and stream all over the world and stuff like that, it's just, for me, the best way to keep track of everybody and everything we're doing is do Zulu. It's universal. Thank you, Poquita Martinez. The song is called On and On, which is already off now, but the song's called On and On. It's good to know. I like that song a lot. Champion, hi, what's up? Welcome aboard. Ishan Centenia, you just subscribed. The flight plan is different than it was before. That's an interesting question. What is your flight plan? Well, let me tell you. That's a good shot right there. Hold on. Like, how is this possible that 3 of us are flying the same direction, but like, that's... Oh my god, bruh. That shot right there. If only it was daytime right now. It's okay, I can brighten this up when I edit it later. So dope. Why are you guys going so fast? What's up with that? Slow down. What the heck? How are you guys doing in fuel, by the way? The guys flying with me, if you took off with us, how are you doing on fuel? Like, are you also in the same situation I am, or are you like, you've been good this whole time? I didn't know this song was an Infinite Flight trailer. Infinite Flyer, there's really no reason for me to do a setup video because there's not much to my setup. Maybe later when I have like a really cool setup, I'll do like a setup video, but there's not really anything to my setup, so there's no reason to show it. But as you can see off in the distance, there's some snow-capped mountains out there. Alright, let's take a look. You guys did want to take a look at the flight plan again. Let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna do a direct to center. So activate that leg. And I think we're still flying in heading mode, aren't we? Yeah, we are. So we'll go ahead and change to navigation mode. That's gonna fly us to the left. That's gonna get us on our path. Now the reason I'm doing this, because before I had my heading flying us directly to Anchorage. Now I'm gonna fly us to a specific path that's gonna get us on the runway. Yeah, so like that. So this is our arrival into Anchorage right now. So we're right here. There's PADQ, which is one of our backup airports. So if we run short on fuel anytime soon, we will divert back to this airport if we need to. Now I think it is not a bad time to go ahead and start descending. Let's take a look at our distance to destination. We are 250 miles out. I'll do this, so do go back to ETE. Our distance to next is 110 miles. Now, just to remind you guys, some of you who may not have been here before, let me turn the music down real quick, just a little bit, so you guys can hear me better. So at Thule, right here, we want to be at 1,600 feet, and we get to with Vita, we want to be at 1,000 feet. Now, I think I said that I want to be at 1,600 when we get to Ragan, so we'll be there early. And then, so that means we could probably be 3,000. I think I might have said 2. We'll do 3,000 at STMMP, and then 5,000 at Velum. And let's see, Dutka, how far is that? That's 87 miles between Dutka and Velum. So that's a lot. That's a lot. We don't need to descend too much. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and get my calculator now. We can calculate. We're at, our current altitude is about 310-ish, just below 310. And our target altitude will be, I don't know. Actually, let me see. I'm gonna do this backwards. So we're gonna actually do the calculation for Dutka the Velum. So if you want to be at 5,000 feet at Velum, so I'm typing this in right now on my calculator. That'll be probably, I don't know. Let's see, how high should we say? Let's just say we want to be at 18,000. I'm just trying some stuff. That's 87 miles in between that. That's what we're looking at right here. Compute. It's 900 feet per minute. Wow, yeah. So So at Dutka, we can be at 1,800. No, sorry, no. 18,000. Flight level 180 at DUTCA. And between Saner and Dutka is 96 miles. So we're gonna plan on doing, what did I say, 900 feet between Velum and Dutka, from 18,000 to 5,000. And then before that, at Saner, which is our next waypoint and 94 miles from us right now, we can probably be our top of descent. We'll make a pretty slow descent and just try to save as much fuel as we can. So if we're at 310 now, and we're gonna go down to 18, and about, was it 87? Wait, I'm confused now. I might have read that wrong. Hold on. We're 92 miles now from Saner, so 87 miles from Saner to Dutka. So we can descend at 1,100 feet per minute at about 280 knots from Saner to Dutka. And so now I need to recalculate this one because I think I did that wrong. Okay, that's only 28 miles between those two, so we may need to be lower. So let me change that. The target altitude is gonna be 5,000, and yeah, we need to change that. So we need to descend a lot sooner, or we need to be lower. Let's see. What if we do 12,000? Yeah, we'll do 12,000. So we won't be at Dutka at 12,000. So that'll change our other descent. We'll be descending at 1,300 feet per minute if we descend from 12,000 to 5,000 between Dutka and Velum. So that means if we want to be at 12,000 at Dutka and we want to descend to 12,000 from 31,000, let's find out what that calculation is. And again, guys, I'm using a calculator on my computer to make these calculations for our descent. And that's going to be 87 miles. And we'll descend about 280 knots. That's 1,500 feet per minute. That'll be perfectly fine. So that's what we'll do. We'll descend at Saner, which is going to be in 84 miles, which we can expect in 10 and a half minutes. And man, that fuel making me is worrying me, but I gotta ignore these red letters. These red letters really make you like, fuel. So yeah, descending in 10 minutes. We're descending from our cruising altitude right now, which is just below 31,000. We'll descend about 1,500 feet per minute down to 12,000. All right, so this is our descent plan one more time. At center, it's gonna be our top of descent. At center, we're gonna descend to 12,000 at 1,500 feet per minute vertical speed, and then from there, from Detka, we want to descend down to 5,000, which I think was 900 feet per minute. I should have wrote this down, but I think that's what it was. 900 feet per minute, or something like that. So we should be perfectly fine as far as our descent profile, which will get us to 1,800. No, what was it? What was it? What's the chart say? Let's take a look at the chart. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Let's go ahead and bring that up. All right, there it is. So where'd it go? Here it is. All right, so yeah, so 1,600 at Thule. 1,600 at Thule. So we'll be just fine. As long as we have, as the fuel goes fine, this is a plan as far as fuel. If our fuel is fine all the way to Anchorage, this will be our plan. Now, let's talk about alternate, because we have to be ready just in case something goes wrong. You have to plan for the worst, pray for the best. Alright, so we're 8 minutes out from there. We are 26 minutes out from destination with 29 minutes of fuel. Now we're gonna do our best to save as much fuel as possible on the way down. We'll see how that changes once we make our descent down. But right now we are extremely close and too close for comfort. But, whew, all right. We're finally seeing land though. So, I mean, the good thing is that there's land, and that means when you see land, that means there's airports nearby somewhere. So let's find out what those airports are. We've already passed our first alternate, which is PADQ, right here. I'm not sure what distance that is away from us. But our next alternate is going to be PAHO. Now, I know for sure we have enough fuel to make it that far. After PAHO, there's not really that many other airports until we make it to... Oh, where'd this come from? I didn't see this airport. PAEN. How long is their runways? Oh, yeah. This is a good one. 01 left, 19 right. This is a very good option for us. So let's go ahead and expect this one. This even has 2 runways. Not that we would ever be able to use that second one, but this is a very, very, very good option. I did not know this was here. What's the name of this airport? That's Kenai Municipal. Cool. Okay, well that is, I don't know, it's probably a good 50 miles in between those 2 airports. So if we can't make it to Anchorage, like because we're really close, I think we're gonna make it pretty close. But if we can't make it, that is a huge possibility to make it to the airport right there. So I kind of want to add an extra waypoint there, just so we can remember that that is a waypoint. I mean, that's an airport. That's gonna be our alternate. Man, look at that. Fuel remaining. 2% fuel remaining. For whatever reason, our ETE to destination just went above our fuel remaining. I don't know why it keeps changing. I don't understand what that's doing. But again, we're going to do our best to make it to Anchorage. But if not, this is a very good option. We'll land straight in the 01 left. We'll just have to fly the GPS approach in there. And then we also have a couple other airports around it. We have a 7AK3 runway's not big enough. That's can't land there. That runway's not long enough. I'm pretty sure this one's too short too. Yeah, 5,000 feet runway. That's too short for 747. And we got this one here. It might be a little bit longer. Nope, it's not. It's 2,000, and it's a gravel. That's a gravel runway right there. So we definitely can't land there. So it looks like once we get past PAHO, our next option is going to be PAEN. So that's the plan, guys, and we're going to shoot for it. I'm nervous, I'm not going to lie. Either way, my goal is to get my goal is to get this thing on the ground, wheels down on the ground safely. Or the runway, I should say, not the ground, the runway. So go ahead, guys, put your polls in. Go ahead and join in on the poll discussion. Do you think we're gonna make it to Anchorage, or do you think we're not gonna make it to Anchorage? Do you still believe in me even though all the odds say that we're not gonna make it? Let's see. Let me see if I can get the results right here. We still have 100% say yes, I'm gonna make it. We have 9 responses. We have 9 people say I'm gonna make it. So we'll see. I don't know how that changed from 60-40 to 100, but I'm okay with that. Oh, there's not gonna be a go around. There's no option. We can't do a go around. We don't have enough fuel to do a go around. Go around is not an option. Vintrain says, I'm gonna make it, but I'm not gonna have enough fuel to taxi. I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. What's going on, Alexis? Alexis, welcome back. I'm completely okay with making it, but not being able to taxi. As long as we can get on the runway. This is gonna be emergency landing, and remember, as long as we can get on the runway, they'll close the runway for us. Nobody else can land on that runway. When doing an emergency landing, it's completely okay to just stop on the runway. Alright, we're still too far to get any frequencies. I do see approach online. We have some ATC. I'm not sure who ATC is, but it looks like we have approach at Anchorage, so we'll be able to contact ATC and let them know that we're having an emergency situation. Oh wow, why are there so many of you? We have approach is IFATC Dex. Oh, that's great. That's going to be very helpful. Departure, we have Matthias Porta. Tower and ground is Unsalted Peanuts. So thank you guys for being our ATC today. Hope you guys know what to do in an emergency situation. The good thing is we don't have like any kind of engine fire or anything like that, so it's just very close on fuel. But welcome back, guys, to Alaska. We haven't flown here since we flew in Juneau, and the Alaskan scenery is always amazingly beautiful. The sad part is that it's nighttime, but it looks like you can still kind of see the moon is bright enough tonight. As you can see, there's sometimes when you fly infinite flight when it's just like really freaking dark. Then there's other times when it's just like a pretty good lighting at night, so that way you can actually still see scenery. I mean, if it was, I would be okay with it being pitch black dark if there was like ground lighting, like if there was city lights and stuff. But since there's no city lights, I think it helps to have a little bit more brightness in the simulator. Even though it's not really, like, I mean, honestly, at this time, it's not really realistic for it to be this bright, but I'm okay with it because I'm able to see. Like, it just makes flying at night more enjoyable in general, rather than just flying over pitch black darkness. I mean, like, this is cool. Look at these beautiful mountains in front of us. Now, okay, so we do see land. So remember, I was very excited about seeing land. Now, one issue is that all this land is not flat. If I was to have to land here, yeah. I mean, it's all mountain. You can't land on a mountain. We would definitely die. But look off into the distance. You see that little green light? That's one thing we need to pay attention to as we're flying. As we're watching our fuel, one thing we need to pay attention to is look around and spot these little flashing green, white, or even red lights on the ground. So as you see right in front of us, what is that, like 11 o'clock? 12? No. Yeah, like 12, 11, 10 o'clock in front of us, whatever that is. You see a little flashing white light, flashing white and green. Now what that is that's an airport. Now most of you who fly infinite flight know that. I don't know if I can see it from this view. I can't. We'll jump for this one. Oh, that looks good right there. Was not expecting to get a screenshot out of that. I want to get a view where I can look around. Alright, there it is. I'm going to zoom in. So right here, that is an airport. So we need to keep an eye out as we're flying because we're in an emergency situation already. We're low on fuel. We have 2% fuel. 22 minutes of fuel, guys. 22 minutes, and we're 24 minutes away from our destination, it says. So we need to keep an eye out. So if whatever case we run out of fuel right now, we're going to have to glide to the nearest airport. And right now, that is our nearest airport. And what airport is that? I don't know. Let's see. What is that? I think that's PH. I think that's... Well, there's a couple airports. So I don't know which airport that is. So I think it shows the little green dot for even the uncontrolled airports. So I'm not really sure. It may be PAHO. It could be one of these smaller airports. I think it's PAHO because it's really far in the distance. All right, now we're turning. So let's go ahead and start making our descent now down to, oh God, 18,000 feet. Was it 18? No, it's 12. 12,000 feet. Change it to here. Here we go. All right, down to 12,000 at, what was our descent rate? Descent rate is 1,500 feet per minute. We'll go down to 1,500. All right, we're using less and less power now. So I'm hoping that this descent will kind of help us even out for our fuel. 'Cause we're gonna have to use less fuel, I would assume, to get down there. I hope that they, because them adding the new, what's it, the MD-11 with the new feature where you can actually simulate refueling in the air. Oh, that looks good right there. I hope that they somehow, I don't know how they would do it, but they could figure out a way to do in-air refueling just for fighters though. I think that'd be pretty cool. Apparently I'm disconnected from the live server for some reason. Oh, there's back. Yeah, so now we're close. I'm gonna switch Zulu time to nearest airport. That's something we need to know. Alright, so nearest airport is 4Z9. Man, I don't think okay, I can't say that. I have been this low on fuel before, but wow. This makes the anticipation right now of how little fuel we have is just crazy. Man, these mountains look beautiful though. I mean, hey, at least we can enjoy the view before we die. Just kidding. Oh man. We're keeping a close eye on our fuel. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be very close. I mean, I think we're gonna land with literally no fuel. Look at that! Look at that! There's a warning right there on the right side next to the altitude minimum fuel. All right, so I just lowered the speed down to 280 knots, which was what I was planning on. The speed that we were planning on using on the way down. So now our throttle's at 0. So now, as you see, the ETE to destination is now white, which is good. Fuel remaining now says an hour. That's if we were to use no throttle the whole time. That's going to change once we add throttle back in. So right now it's a little misleading. It's been kind of misleading the whole time because I wasn't sure. Like, I mean, honestly, when I first took off, it was red, and I was like, should I turn around and go back and get more fuel and then fly out again? Anders Sacratism, we should be landing in Anchorage in the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm sending an email right now. So I think you probably hear me typing. What's going on, IFMG? What's up, man? Welcome. Yeah, I'll take a look on the map so you guys can see where we are. Alright, so we've passed PAHO. That was our first alternate. Coming up on PAEN, which is our next alternate. And not very far from Anchorage. So we're getting really close to Anchorage. Very close. We're only 6 minutes from our next waypoint where we need to be at 12,000 feet. Right now we're passing 20,000 MSL. Nearest airport is 468K. It's about 50 miles away from us. Yeah, I know you could hear me clicking because I was typing an email. Clickety click click. Andrew says, I have a feeling you're gonna make it, but I'm gonna keep my vote if you're not making it. If I make this, you all have to put a like on this video. Okay, now let's talk about this. Now I know we're back on training server, but I need us to have some spacing. Oh wow, look at that! Look at it on the left. You can actually see where the mountains end. Now that's not how it's supposed to be, obviously, but that is where Infinite Flight stops showing mountains. The rest of this is all flat. Oh man, look at that! It does it again right there. Because right here, like, it still has the HD scenery of mountains, but doesn't show mountains. Now this is an issue. I don't know why Infinite Flight decided to leave out this small area, but this is what it was like when we flew in Anchorage last time. Can I get a left wing view of that? That's right wing. No, I want left wing. Where's left wing? There it is. Alright, it's not as cool as I thought it would look. But yeah, again guys, we need separation. So I know that approach is gonna separate us, but you need to already think about separation. So hopefully, like, if you guys are low on fuel also, then you're gonna have to let ATC know that you're low on fuel, because I'm definitely letting ATC know that I'm low. Okay, so we are in range of Anchorage approach. So I'm gonna contact them now and do an emergency request. Fuel, minimum fuel or is it emergency fuel? We're basically, let's do minimum fuel. Confirm warning, fuel quantity of 15 minutes is known by ATC. Cool.
116, minimum fuel.
Alright, cool. So that's actually the first time I've been able to do that. So we let ATC know.
Expect no undue delay.
Alright, so we will not be getting any type of delay. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what everybody else's fuel situation is. I only know that I'm low on fuel. I don't know if the people flying with us today are low on fuel. I know some of you guys are in the chat, so let me know right now. Are you low on fuel? Who's low on fuel? Who has enough? If you have enough fuel, then you're good. I mean, you should have just kept flying to San Francisco.
Anchorage approach, Malaysian 27, with you. Anchorage approach, Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima Oscar, with you. Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima Oscar, Roger. Malaysian 27.
I mean, I really wish the mountains showed up here in Anchorage, Alaska, because you can tell just by looking at the scenery around us that it's supposed to be very beautiful, but it doesn't show it. So it is what it is. I'm gonna change this to our flight time is 8:39, 8 hours 39 minutes.
November 7,
which still does not make
RKSI-KSFO
sense.
is 8 nautical
So where did we
miles
lose
southeast
2
of
hours of
Cape
fuel?
Ann at 14,800
Because
feet.
if you just joined us
Requesting
again, I
hours
started out
approach
with 11 hours of
107
fuel.
right at Ted
The flight was
Stevens.
only supposed to be
November
8 hours and a
7,
half to 9
Sierra.
hours long.
Expect vectors for
10
the
hours
approach
max.
runway 07
Max.
right at Ted Stevens. Roger. November 7, X-Ray Sierra.
And yet somehow we're in this situation where we're not gonna have enough fuel to make it to our destination. So we're diverting to Anchorage. And I believe Raiden Metal Gear Rising, thank you for that subscription, man. I just saw that a little bit late, but thank you, man, for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Global family. You came on an interesting day.
Turn left heading
Very interesting day.
Descend and maintain 12,000.
Because this is the first time we had the situation during a live stream.
November 7, X-Ray Sierra.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to tell the passengers we have 1% fuel remaining. I would freak out if I heard that from the pilot. Like, what do you mean we have 1%? We're at 22,000 feet right now. EPH210, there's a complete tailwind all the way from where we took off to where we were supposed to be landing. We took off in Seoul, Korea, and we're going to across the Pacific Ocean to San Francisco, and there was a very strong tailwind the whole way. So I started out with 11 hours of fuel, which is 2-3 hours more than what we need. No, 2 hours more than what we needed. And with the tailwind, and yet we still were short on fuel, so I don't know what's up with that. Alright, so right now, fuel remaining 20 minutes. ETE to destination 19 and a half. ETE to next is 53 seconds. And we're almost at 12,000, so our next turn left heading 340, descend to 10,000. Okay. Hopefully we alright, turn nav off. Turning to 340 down to 10,000. Means we need to slow all the way down.
Turn left heading 340. Descend and maintain 10,000.
And we're
16. Delta Echo 1 Whiskey.
Well, we've already let him know that we're having an emergency, so there's no need to do it again. But we are at 1% freaking fuel. And I'm hoping that I don't know where he's vectoring us to or what, but
make a right 360.
Yeah.
Delta Echo 1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo Heavy. Expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 15 at Ted Stevens.
Thank you, Gabe. Alright guys, I need to focus on the flying now and getting us on the ground safely. So I'm not going to be reading the chat, just so you know. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, you're not paying attention, and the reason is because I'm trying to fly. We don't have barely any fuel, and I want to get us on the ground safely. So
make a left 360.
From now I'm going to be focused on landing. So I'll talk to you guys. I'll see you guys when we get on the ground. I'm pretty confident we'll get there.
Blue 116. Turn right.
Alright, turn right heading 360, maintain 9,000. Alright, going 360 down to 9,000. We're already at 4,000 feet. We're good there. We'll acknowledge that.
Turn right
Let's go
heading
back up to 9.
Descend and maintain 9,000. Blue 116.
Alright, it says low fuel. Before it said minimum fuel, now it says low fuel right here next to our altitude. It's kind of nerve-wracking for sure. Winds are 4 knots. We'll look at the weather in Anchorage real quick.
November 782 X-Ray Sierra.
Landing lights not used. Oh, I always forget. Landing lights under 10,000 feet. Thank you, Infinite Flight passenger. At least I know you're working. Hopefully he gives you. Hopefully I still get paid for this flight. All right, so we want 07 right. We want 07 right. Oh, I thought approach was Dex, but now it's somebody else. Ooh, this is worrying me. So now it says we have 15 minutes of fuel and 24 minutes remaining to get there. Oh, So what do we do if we don't have enough fuel, but ATC is directing us to go somewhere else? I'm gonna tell them we have emergency fuel. Where is Anchorage approach? Like, bro, this ain't no joke right now. I need you to understand we are on emergency fuel.
Blue 116, emergency fuel.
Oh, actually, I guess apparently it says emergency fuel is less than 11 minutes.
Blue 116, copy emergency fuel. November 627 Victor Mike is 15 nautical miles northwest of South Gas Line at 8,700 feet. Requesting aisles approach runway 07 right at Ted Stevens.
Bro, this is gonna be, you can't plan this stuff. Seriously, like I did not plan
November
this.
627 Victor Mike.
Like it'd be really cool. Like
Expect
it's funny because I was thinking last week, like, hey, it'd be really cool if I could like somehow like set up some type of emergency flight, like a flight where it ends in an emergency. Well, this was not one of those flights. This flight was supposed to be, straightforward, fly from Korea to San Francisco, and and look how it's ending. So we'll see. Right now, it's showing 12 minutes of fuel. 26 minutes till we get to our destination.
Delta Echo 1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo
Man.
Heavy is 17 nautical miles northwest of South Gas Line at 2,300
How is this gonna end up? I'm trying to just like think of like, okay, so if I run out of fuel, there is not an airport nearby. We're down at 9,000 feet, so that means that our glide range is not as much as it used to be.
Blue 116.
All right, here we go. Turn right heading 010, maintain 6,000.
Delta Echo 1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo Heavy. Expect vectors for the aisles approach runway 15 at Ted Stevens. Roger. Delta Echo 1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo Heavy.
All right, down to
Delta
1,000.
1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo Heavy.
I mean, 1,000 feet per minute. I mean,
50. Turn right heading 010. Descend and maintain 6,000. Blue 116. Malaysian 27 is 8 nautical miles northeast of Rotor Air at 12,000 feet. Requesting aisles approach.
If we land this, I need a promotion.
Ted Stevens.
I need a promotion. If we land this aircraft, I need a promotion.
Southeast of Tyanak at 8,000 feet. Requesting aisles approach runway 07 right at Ted Stevens. November 627 Victor Mike. Expect vectors for the aisles approach runway 07 right at Ted Stevens. Roger. November 627 Victor Mike. November 627 Victor Mike is 16 nautical miles southeast of Tyanak at 8,000 feet. Requesting radar vectors to Ted Stevens. November 627 Victor Mike. Turn right heading 020. Descend.
This is an official emergency landing now. We are at 14 minutes of fuel, 1%.
November 627 Victor Mike. Unable. Delta Echo 1 Whiskey Kilo 9 Echo Heavy. Malaysian 27. Expect vectors for the aisles approach runway 07 right at Ted Stevens. Roger. Malaysian 27. November 782 X-Ray Sierra is 7 nautical miles northwest.
Am I flying
of
back to
South
what
Gas Line
airport?
at 12,000
Oh
feet.
crap, what did he say?
Requesting aisles approach
2,500, I wasn't
runway
paying
15 at Ted
attention.
Stevens. Blue 116. Descend and maintain 2,500.
I actually have like my sound of my phone turned off, so I can't actually hear. I hear it back in the live stream when you guys hear it, but I don't hear it. Alright, so it looks like he's giving us a pretty short final. He's flying us directly to the glide slope for runway 07 right. So we need to be down to like 1,600. I don't know how low he's going to give us, but we need to go down to 1,600. I'm going to go ahead and request that altitude change to that low. I don't know if he's looking at charts or not. I'm not going to trust that he is.
Blue 116. Requesting descent to 1,500. Transovit 705. Turn right heading 060. Descend and maintain 8,000. Velocity 519 Super is 4 nautical miles north of Fire Island at 2,300 feet.
Thank you for that sub, Craig Keegan. Alright, we're clear to 1,005.
Descend and maintain 8,000.
And we need to go a lot faster than this.
705. Blue 116.
I'm also going to lose a little bit less fuel. Go like 210.
Blue 116. Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima Oscar.
Alright, so now we're using no power at all.
Southwest of Fire Island at
We're gonna go ahead and, I think we
feet.
can, yeah, we can go ahead and set the
Requesting
07
ILS
right.
runway 07 right at Ted
We
Stevens.
are above,
Velocity
oh wow, we're high.
519 super.
We're way
Expect
high.
vectors for the ILS approach runway 15 at Ted Stevens. Roger. Velocity 519
Yeah, he's bringing us in
super.
pretty high. I'm gonna go
Delta
put
Echo
some
Foxtrot
flaps in
Lima
too.
Oscar. Expect vectors for the
Now, with the
ILS
problem with
approach
adding the
runway
flaps is that's actually
07
gonna,
right at Ted
at
Stevens.
first kind of make,
Velocity
yeah, simply put the nose up, which is gonna
519
lower
super
our
is 6
vertical
nautical
speed.
miles south of
But we
Little
need to be
Sicily
slowed
at
down,
3,000 feet.
because again, we do
Requesting
not have
approach
fuel.
runway
Is that the
15 at
runway?
Ted Stevens.
That's it.
Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima
Oh my
Oscar.
god, this is
Turn
about
left
to,
heading
okay, we need to slow all the way
340.
down.
Descend and maintain 4,000. Malaysian 27.
Alright, it's
Requesting
time.
descent to 8,000.
It is time, guys.
Descend and maintain 2,000.
It
November
is time.
627 Victor Mike. Blue 116. You're on an active
Because we don't
airport.
have time,
Please
we don't have time or
contact Ted
fuel to
Stevens
do a
ground
go
on
around.
121.9er.
Flight attendants, please
Runway is
prepare for
right
landing.
there.
Blue 116. Turn right heading 050.
Right,
Turn
050
right
is the heading.
050. Blue 116.
We're getting close to that glide slope. I'm about to fly it in by hand. We're probably gonna land pretty fast. We're only 7 miles out. I'm gonna go gear down. Flaps 25. I'm gonna calibrate my
Blue
screen.
116. Contact Ted Stevens Tower.
Alright,
on
contacting tower.
118.3. Blue 116. You're
Call
in active
inbound,
airspace.
landing,
Please
runway
contact Ted Stevens Tower on
07 right.
118.3. Ted Stevens Tower. Blue 116
I think we
is
just
7
overshot it.
nautical miles to the west at
Alright, turn.
1,900 feet. Inbound
we
for
overshot it.
landing. Requesting runway 07 right.
Clear to land,
Blue
acknowledge.
116. Number 1.
Can I do emergency?
Runway
Yep,
07
emergency
right.
request,
Clear
fuel.
to land.
Emergency
Number
fuel,
1.
confirm.
Clear
Let
to
him know
land.
that we have
Runway
emergency fuel.
07 right. Blue 116. Blue 116.
I think we're gonna make it,
Emergency
guys.
fuel. 8 minutes
I think we're gonna
remaining.
make it.
Blue 116. Copy emergency fuel.
Spoils are on. Don't need them.
Ted Stevens Tower.
Oh man, his nose is
Horizon
going way too high.
134. Ready for takeoff.
Alright, so I'm
at runway
controlling not the
15.
altitude, but I am
Departing west.
controlling the heading of the
Horizon
aircraft right now.
134. Runway 15.
I'm gonna go
Cleared
ahead and
for
try to land with
immediate
flaps
takeoff.
25 instead of flaps
Cleared
full.
for takeoff. Runway 15. Horizon
We have 8 minutes of
134.
fuel. I'm gonna calibrate one more time. There it is. And we're gonna take control of that altitude. Put the nose down. Get us lined up with the runway for 07 right. That is the right runway, so that is 07 right. Slow our speed to about 150. We should be good there. I think we'll find out in a second. We're still not perfectly lined up with the runway. We're only 2 miles out. We're a little low.
500.
I think let's go with 145. I think that'll work. All right, it's a little bumpy right there.
400.
Go ahead and hold it steady. I'm not gonna think about fuel anymore. I think we're good to make it there now. Get rid of that map. We have 3 knot wind. That's nothing.
300.
It's the least of our worries is wind. Let's do 140.
200.
And all right.
100.
Ted Stevens Tower. Malaysian
I gotta hold a steady hand. I was a little
11
nervous, so I was a little
miles to the west
shaky.
at 6,600
So I gotta hold
feet.
steady hand. Here we
Inbound for
come.
landing.
40.
Horizon 134. Requesting
There's a
departure
flare.
to the west.
10.
Malaysian
Little rudder.
27. Number 1. Runway
And we're down.
07 right.
Woohoo!
Clear
We
to
made
land.
it. We
Number
made it.
1.
Where are the
Clear
hand
to
claps,
land.
baby?
Runway 07 right.
We made it.
Malaysian
Didn't even need to
27.
use the
Horizon
reverse thrust.
134. Departure
I might
to
still
the west
use it.
is approved. Contacting Ted Stevens Tower on 118.3. Delta
I'm just gonna let it roll to
Echo
end the
Foxtrot
runway.
Lima Oscar. Ted Stevens Tower. Delta Echo
We made it,
Foxtrot
guys.
Lima Oscar is 8 nautical
After all
miles
of
to the
that,
west
we
at
actually made it. We
2,800
definitely
feet.
would not have
Inbound
made it
for
to San
landing.
Francisco.
Requesting
That is
runway
100%
07
sure.
right. Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima Oscar.
That is
Number
100%
1.
sure. We're
Runway
not gonna make it. I'm
07
gonna use
right. Clear to land. Number
the
1.
actual brakes,
Clear
the
to
manual
land.
braking.
Runway 07 right.
It slows
Delta
down
Echo
instead of the
Foxtrot Lima
reversers.
Oscar.
We have enough
World
fuel to
Express
use the reversers. I'm
96
just not gonna use
is on
them
right base runway
right now.
25 right.
We may need that
Executing missed
fuel
approach. Malaysian
taxi.
27. World
Alright, we're gonna
Express
taxi to the left.
96. Roger. Going around. November 459 Alpha Yankee.
We'll take that very last runway over there.
November 459 Alpha Yankee, go around, make right traffic runway 15.
And I completely forgot to change the screen back to my screen and not the chart screen, but it's too late now. All right, we'll hold short here. 07 left. We're going too fast. Whew, man, we made it. We made it. Oh, I'm a little left of it. Let's see. Go ahead and contact ground and request to cross runway 07 left. Where is that option? 07 left. So we have a plane on final out there on 07 left. But we should be able to cross before he gets there.
Blue 116.
Alright, cross runway.
Cross runway 07
Acknowledge.
left. Crossing runway 07 left. Blue 116.
Alright, so we're actually right now we're at Charlie. We still want to go to Terminal C. So right now we're exiting Charlie, Charlie Kilo, and then Terminal South Terminal. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Oh man, we're going too fast. Oh my gosh. I was looking at the chart and not looking at the screen. That's why I just completely killed that turn. Alright, so where are we at? We on Charlie, we turn left. Alright, let's get rid of those spoilers. Man, we made it. I'm really happy we made it. For a second there, I was like kind of doubting myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna make it all the way. I've been in this situation once before. We didn't make it. There's the other aircraft made it without an issue. Not sure who that is. I don't have the names on right now. We got fighters on standby. Yeah, I'll probably refuel and continue to SFO, but I will not be streaming that flight. I'll probably just fly it. We'll stop at the gate, refuel, give pilots a little break, and then probably within about 30 minutes to an hour, I'll probably continue off to San Francisco, which was our original destination. I believe this right here should be South Cargo. But again, I will not be streaming that flight.
Crossing runway 07 left. Delta Echo Foxtrot Lima Oscar.
Man, we made it though. We made it. We made it. I can't. I'm so stuck on the fact that we freaking made it. We made it. Yeah, this is South Cargo here. I'm just looking to see if there's any kind of line. Oh, there's a line right there. I couldn't see the lines. Alright, we'll park over here, so I can't see any of these lines. It's like at night, it's one thing that's tough, especially with places like this that have darker ramps. It's very tough to see the yellow lines because there's no lights on them, and there's also no taxi lights, infinite flight.
Ted Stevens Unicum, Air Bridge Cargo 207 Heavy is taking off
and
runway 15.
We have arrived. Not at our destination, but we have arrived safely on the ground at a different destination. So we'll probably keep the same passengers we have on board and continue on to San Francisco, and probably about once we get the plane reloaded up and stuff in about 30 minutes to an hour, I'll continue. It will not be on stream, but for you guys who are here with us right now, all you guys, thank you so much for joining us for today's stream. Whew, just not how I was expecting it to go. Again, I was wanting to do an emergency stream, like an emergency flight, like an emergency landing type of stream one day. This was not supposed to be it. This was supposed to be a flight from Seoul, Seoul, Korea to San Francisco, California. Now, this was supposed to be the last United 747 flight, the farewell United 747 flight. That's what this was. But it turned into emergency fuel leak, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and turn the engines off and get them so I can go ahead and get those regassed up, and we'll head down to San Francisco. I'm not sure how long that flight is. Seatbelt sounds are now off. Beacon lights are off. You guys can now come and approach the aircraft to refuel it. But man, very interesting. That was fun though. It was fun, but it was probably the most nervous I've been on the flight, an Infinite flight, was that one, to see if I was gonna make it. So I'll make sure for sure that we have enough fuel on board when we head to San Francisco, get these people to their final destination. The sun will probably be rising by the time we get out of here. So I wasn't expecting this to be a completely dark stream either. So hopefully you guys are able to see the flight and everything on here. And thank you for the hand claps. Thank you for all that, the love in the chat. Appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for being here. It's all good. Walking fruit. These are happy emojis, so there's no limit on those.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 15.
But
Pushback approved. Infinite
let's go ahead and let's get out of here. I got work to do, and I would like to continue this flight on to San Francisco also. So, but I need to end the stream to make that possible. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Remember, you got 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it all you got. Let's go ahead and do some shout outs for everybody who was here. Yeah, we probably have to tow it to that's a good point. We're gonna have to tow the aircraft to maintenance to get that leak fixed before we get out of here too, because there was definitely a leak. I had 11 hours of fuel, and we got here in almost 9 hours, and we were almost out of fuel. So there's something wrong with that. But again, I'll catch you guys next time. But one time before I get out of here, please leave your name or where you're watching from in the chat so I can give you a shout out, emoji, whatever it is. Michael Jenkins, shout out to you. Thank you for the hand claps. Thank you for the praises, the cheers. Leonardo, shout out to you. Noah, Leonardo, Vintrain, GHDJDA, what's going on? Walking Fruit, IFMG, Gabe Castro, E-Train, the Lebrat's Files, Kurawa, Luke Man from UK, thank you for watching. Anders Sacratism. Okay, Ander. Mr. Sloth, see you, man. I'll be praying for you and your brother and your family. Ilan Dritty, thank you, my friend. Nightwalk Shots. Thomas D, cheers to you also. Shout out to our new subscribers. We have Plan A, Craig Keegan, Raiden Metal Gear Rising, Wing King 10. We have some more people who subscribe during the stream, but they're not showing up there. Yeah, it's only showing the latest 4. So shout out to all the new subscribers. We're almost at 2K, guys. Almost there. So help me get there. Muhammad, Sean NG, Aviator Ilan, H-Town in the building. Alright, guys, let's get out of here. Sid 905, Ishan Santaya. I'm saying some of you guys' name horribly wrong, but it's okay. Doing my best. Doing my best. Oh no, Hakai Hadi somehow landed on the runway. I'm not sure how you managed to do that. Thank you for that compliment, Mr. Sloth. I really, really appreciate that. Again, guys, leave a like on the video. If you're not following already, yay, training server. Look on the screen. Yeah, that means we need to get the heck out of here. That's what that means. So anyways, thank you guys. Leave a like, subscribe, sponsor, all that stuff. Support the channel. I'm going to continue from here to San Francisco once I load up and everything. But thank you guys again. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, love, and God bless you. We'll jam out to some music on the way out of here as usual. Oh my God. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're leaving. All the way leaving. We are all the way leaving. Let's get some music going, and we will continue.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge.
Taxi into parking.
Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. You're looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get to glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then amateurs have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then amateurs have to leave. Yeah, shoot, shoot. Yeah, shoot, shoot. Yeah,